Well, in the search for cooler intake air temps and a more dense air charge, hopefully leading to less smoke, we've acquired an intercooler. We've got the Kart in the back. We're headed over to see the doctor. After way too much time, we've returned to Talbot Industries, where all good projects come at some point. And this is what we're working with. This is our little intercooler. It's from Double Z, Double X Racing, something like that. This is for some kind of like late 80s, early 90s Toyota MR2. It was the closest I could find to the dimensions of the opening for the recoil housing. So the recoil came off, and this is going to go on here something like whit. And what we're doing now is Kyle's working on these two end pieces, so we're going to get rid of these front-facing openings, block them off, and then we're going to feed it from the top to make piping it a little bit easier. So I think what's going to happen is we're going to divert the hot air to the front, and then the cold air is going to come out the back and go to the intake manifold. And yeah, that's pretty much the game plan for now, and I'll update you as we go. All right, so our poor little intercooler got some big old holes in her. These are the pieces that we whipped up. Kyle rolled this bead edge real nice. Just gonna go on there like so. Like so. And then we're gonna block off the old holes. And then these will be our charge pipe receivers. And then we'll just get some tabs on here to mount it, and then we'll be in business. Tubes, old ones capped off, mounting tabs. Thanks, buddy. All right, it's a couple days, weeks later, back out working on the Kart and working on getting this charge piping all set. So got my hot pipe kind of tacked in. This is the original pipe coming off the turbo, and then just some cuts and welds. I'm using these prefab mandrel bent pieces from Speedway Motors. They got them in all different sizes and stuff, and it just eliminates the need for, you know, pie cuts and stuff like that. So you can kind of cut them and weld them together as needed. You can see you got the intercooler mounted, and so now I gotta snake from here over to here, and then I gotta remake this flange. And then if I get to it, I bought a couple weld-in bungs, because I think what I'm going to try to do is get boost in the cold pipe rather than off the turbo to see what it's really making. And also that's going to give me an opportunity to put a bung in place if I ever want to spray this thing with water meth or nitrous or whatever. So kind of on crunch time today. Don't know how good the videos are going to be, but I'll keep you guys posted. So one thing I was looking at is this, I guess you could call this the intake manifold. So these are two studs that go through into the head, and then these 3 bolts are on the perimeter. And I could take this and rock it back and forth, and I could actually see the gasket moving. So I took everything off, gooped it up real good with RTV, and I'm letting that set now. So I'm starting to work on this cold side pipe, and I was going to need to make a new flange, so I just figured I'd show you guys this. They start ugly. Basically what I did is I took a razor blade on a stick, really underutilized tool in my opinion that everybody should have. Scraped off the old gasket and then used it as a template. This is, I don't know, probably quarter, maybe 5/16 steel. Anyway, cut it out rough, and then for this square or rectangle, I basically just traced the ID of this hole and then punched out 4 holes with the drill press for the corners. And now I'm going to go ahead and attempt to cut as much of this out as I can using an angle grinder. The finished product on this thing is going to look really cool, but I just figured I'd show you guys, like, you know, this is how it starts, and gets better from there. Well, like I said, I'm kind of under crunch time, so one thing led to another, and didn't really do too many more clips, but this is how it turned out for the time being. This is that flange that I showed you guys the little progress on. Still need to go and kind of trim it down a little bit, but it works good. So here's the cold pipe, hot pipe. As you saw in the video, the thing makes way more boost now, and I think I need to attribute that to the increased plenum volume. I'm sure that the intercooler is helping that as well, just from a intake air temp standpoint. I'm kind of curious to take a temp gun and hit these 2 pipes and see if there's a appreciable difference. I think I'm actually going to need to look into getting the wastegate working again, and then also put the fuel or the throttle stop screw back in it, because I'm pretty sure I could get this thing to float the valves if I pushed it hard enough. I actually got to race it a little bit last night, and from a power standpoint, it's like a noticeable improvement. The handling last night was terrible because the front end's set up for pavement, not dirt right now, but that's separate. But anyway, as you were going, you could actually hear the turbo flutter when you let off the throttle. So kind of that like cartoon, like choo-choo-choo-choo that you would get in a, you know, a movie or video game or something like that. You could actually hear it chirping, which tells me that, like, for one, it is absolutely spooling up. It's absolutely like the 12 to 14 pounds of boost. I believe that is a totally real number, but it also means that it's probably going to be time to get the wastegate going again. So I think I saved all the parts for that. Or what I'm going to do is just do like what I was on the 6.5 and do like a Turbo Master with a spring and just kind of try to dial it in via the boost gauge. But pretty pleased with it. Everything was going good last night until the clutch started walking, so I got to go get some new hardware for that and suck that down. in time, I'm gonna need to make some sort of guard for this, like a Nerf bar that comes up in front of it, just to protect it a little bit. But I'm not sure what the next video on this is gonna be. I don't really like taking videos at my buddy's track. Just, it's kind of a, you know, it's his property and not mine type deal. But yeah, I'll keep you guys updated on progress on the cart. Big thanks to Kyle. You know, this thing wouldn't be on there without him, because I certainly can't weld aluminum. And hope you guys watch this and appreciate it and get a kick out of it. But yeah, so pretty cool little project, and I'll keep you guys updated for the future of this thing.